Will Kirby Smart be able to coach as long as Nick Saban? That's the big question that I have for you today. And it's hard to say right now because Nick Saban is obviously still coaching at Alabama and he's got a really good team in front of him. But dude's going to be 72 years old in the middle of the season. He's 71 right now. Looks great. Looks like he still has a lot of fire, a lot of energy. He's obviously put together an extremely talented Alabama team that may contend and play for another national title. But it doesn't look like Nick Saban is slowing down really anytime soon. Now, he does look a lot older. He still, to me, doesn't look 71 years old. But I don't think this is his last year at Alabama. I still think he may have one or two more national championships in front of him. The guy looks great. Looks like he's in a lot of shape. Still plays a lot of golf. Surely doesn't look 71. So my big question is, if Kirby Smart at 47 years old can coach another 25 years to 71, 72, where Nick Saban is now, if he could stay at Georgia that long, how many championships is this guy going to bring? Nick Saban won his first title at LSU at 53. He won his first title at Alabama at 59. And of course, he's won 5 more titles after turning 60 years old. Kirby Smart has 2 titles at 47. If Kirby Smart coaches for another 25 years at Georgia, he might pass Saban as far as national championships go. I mean, he might have 3, maybe 4, ideally, by the time he turns 50. If he wins 2 more in the next 3-4 years, he's already, got a head start on Nick, and he really already does at 47 years old. But, I mean, Nick Saban, it seems like he's got better and better and better as a coach, throughout his career. And if Kirby Smart can do the same, I think, this Georgia program, still, the sky really is the limit. I've said that for a long time now, but if Kirby's going to stay here at 25 more years, who knows how many championships he can bring. Now, Kirby Smart has aged a good bit. If you go back and look at some Dawg Post photos from 2016 and you look at some from last year, put on a couple pounds, as everyone does, right? And he's aged, I think, in my mind, considerably. Now, he still has that fire, right? He still has plenty of energy. He's getting after his team. He's jumping 10 feet in the air when, Keely Ringo intercepts that pass to win that first national championship. He's running down the sidelines. Remember a few years ago when DeAndre Swift took it to the house against Auburn, 2017 SEC championship game. I don't know if he still has that speed because, of course, that was 6 years ago. But can he keep this up? Can he keep that same fire, energy, intensity until he's 71 years old? Can he recruit at the same pace as he is now? I mean, the guy is all over the place, takes maybe 1 week of vacation every year. You're seeing these college coaches, Nick Saban included, they have to work more and more and more each and every year. I've talked about it in the past, between handling the transfer portal, NIL, making sure all of their guys on the roster are, feeling the love from that end of things, and recruiting more players. I mean, Georgia's going to take close to 30 guys in this class. They have to stay on top of it. Signing day, maybe move back to February. The expanded playoffs. These guys are going to have to work more and more each and every year. And it's tough. And I'm just not sure that Kirby Smart is going to be at Georgia at 71, 72 years old. Now, I might be wrong, but I think we're going to have to see a different type of Kirby Smart. We're going to have to see more of a Mark Richt, maybe a laid back type of coach where he takes more of a GM role and lets his staff do a lot of the work and he kind of oversees things. But Nick Saban's still getting after his guys at a high level. If someone messes up, he's right in their grill, in their face mask, letting them know, hey, you got to get it together. You see the emotion running through. Kirby's an emotional guy too. I mean, running for timeouts, right during the Ohio State game, the Peach Bowl, before they got that fake punt off. I mean, the guy can still move, but he's still going to age considerably over the next 25 years. But you can still coach, being old, right? Joe Pa coached until he about rolled over. Mac Brown is still coaching at 71, 72. I think he's Nick Saban's age, but he doesn't have that fire, that, emotion, that intensity that Nick Saban still has. But Nick Saban's still out there playing golf, man, and doing his thing and loving life. We're seeing him smile more, it seems, to me, whether he's being interviewed or just doing stuff not related to football. But again, what Kirby's done at 47 years old is amazing, really. I think he could stop coaching today and he'd be a college football Hall of Fame coach. I'm trying to wrap my mind around how much he could accomplish if he stays at Georgia for another 25 years. Dude's won 2 titles in his first 7 years, 2 SEC championships, played for another national title, has won a Sugar Bowl, has won a Rose Bowl, has won an Orange Bowl, has won a Peach Bowl. He's 5-1 in college football playoffs. Nobody has been able to beat Georgia in the college football playoffs in regulation. Of course, their only loss in the college football playoffs was in overtime to Alabama in that national championship game. So he has done as much as you could expect from him, and he's only 47 years old. So can he keep this up? Listen, again, I think I said it earlier, but Nick Saban in his 60s, you could, make the argument that he was in his prime. Now, he was at Alabama, but he turned around a mediocre Alabama program and turned them into the monster that they should always be. Kirby has turned Georgia into the monster that they should have always been. This was a sleeping giant, and Saban knew that when Kirby Smart gets to Georgia, things are going to turn around, and he was going to turn them into an Alabama-like program, and that's what he's done. Kirby has taken this Georgia program and turned them into the #1 program in college football right now. Not all time, but listen, if Kirby Smart coaches at Georgia until he's 71, 72 years old, and listen, Nick Saban might be there until he's 75. If Kirby coaches at Georgia until he's 75, we're going to be talking about Georgia as a top 3 program of all time. They're going to pass Michigan, who won a lot of national championships when they wore leather helmets. He might pass Oklahoma, Southern Cal, Notre Dame, right? All these programs that people think are ahead of Georgia right now, all time. And you can make the case for some of them, but in 25 years, people are going to look at college football and say, it's Alabama and it's Georgia, #1, #2. Georgia is flying up the wins list. They passed USC and they passed Tennessee. Sorry, Vol fans, on the all-time wins list. I think Georgia has passed Tennessee as an all-time program these last couple of years. The sky's the limit. And I've said that for a while. This program is only going to see more and more success. They're not going anywhere under Kirby Smart. They're not going to take they might take a little dip where they win the East but don't make the playoffs, but there's not going to be down years that Florida's having right now or Tennessee had for the last 20 years, right? There's not going to be Georgia being 3rd in the East, right, or 2nd in the East for a considerable amount of time. It's going to take a lot to get past Kirby Smart and the Dogs, especially. Oh, well, there is no East anymore, right? After this year, it's just the SEC. It's still crazy to think about that, growing up East and West just over the past 25 years. But yeah, Kirby's not going to have Georgia in the middle of the pack in the SEC, and that's with Texas, with Oklahoma. Bring them on. They have to pass Georgia, and yeah, he's got them in a position where they could end up being a top 2-3 program of all time in 25 years if Kirby is able to coach at this level, the same way, with the same level of intensity and attention to detail that Nick Saban has done, coaching into his 70s. If Kirby Smart coaches into his 70s, I would be surprised. But again, I don't want to put anything past him and what he's able to accomplish at Georgia and how long he's going to stay. I do think he's going to retire at Georgia. But if he's going to be there another 25 years, that I'm not so sure. Might have to hit the treadmill a little bit, trying to get in better health. I don't know what his health situation is like, but when you're building a national championship program, there's not a whole lot of time to exercise and, get a workout in or 2 workouts in, especially every day. So, fast food is going to have to be an option on a lot of days where he's working nonstop for 12, 13, 14 plus hours, whether it's coaching the team up, just throughout the fall or in fall practice or preparing them for a bowl game or out recruiting or hosting camps and 7-on-7s as they've done the entire month of June. I mean, it's long. And with everything these coaches have to do, it's going to take a lot for Kirby Smart to keep doing this for another 25 years at the same level that he's been able to do it. So what do you think? Can Kirby Smart coach until he's 71, 72 at Georgia? Does he have another 25 plus years in him at Georgia? Can he do it as long as Nick Saban has done it? Let me know in the comment section below. We love hearing from you. Appreciate you watching these videos. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now. I'll see you over on the website.